Hi guys, it's Denise with Create Your Future. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk about forgiveness, moving through resentment and why it's so important, and some affirmations for helping you do that. Before we get started, as always, if you are interested in signing up for coaching, the link is in the description below, and set your intentions for this video, not only to get something useful out of it, but also to let it propel you into application. So I know that's a big, that's the step. That's not a big step. It is the big step. And through this process, it's really easy for us to keep learning and retaining information and absorbing it. But it's essential that we start applying it. So set your intentions to do that also. Okay, so forgiveness and moving through resentment, getting over anger, all of that. What it does and why it's so important. So you probably can understand and conceptualize that when you're angry with someone, but yet you want them in your life, you're going to be blocking them into your life. So when you hold on to anger over the past, or you're holding on to anger for what's showing up currently, what you're doing is either, well, you're preventing your past or your current situation from changing. You're preventing it to grow and change and expand into something different. You're holding it the way you don't like it. So, for example, if you are trying to get back together with somebody, trying to get back together with an ex, but you're holding on to something from the relationship or some things from the relationship that they did that you're still upset about and still hurt by, in your continued focus on the anger and the resentment and the pride and all of the things that come up, you are consistently pushing away the possibility of that person coming back into your life to the extent that you want them to. Same goes for if you're in a current relationship and you just want some behaviors to change, behaviors that aren't sitting well with you and leave you feeling frustrated or resentful. You are holding that version of them in your current reality longer, and you're preventing it from changing. So once we're aware of what we're doing when we're being upset and holding on to resentment and anger and ruminating over things that didn't sit well with us in the past, once we're aware of it, it becomes easier to change it. So just understanding what you're doing when you're feeling that is really helpful. It's a great first step rather than trying to completely shift everything immediately. It can be really helpful to just practice awareness. And, oh, okay, I'm getting upset about that thing. And I know that when I get upset about that thing, I'm perpetuating that thing in my experience. Okay. And it makes it a little easier to shift into the mental diet, which can be daunting at times. So awareness is really essential, and it's a great first step to softly start shifting into your mental diet. The next step from there is taking accountability. And this is super important because once you take accountability, you have taken yourself out of the victim state. Like the moment you decide, I created this, you're taking your power back. You are stepping out of the victim state and stepping into the creator state. I take responsibility for it. I created it. I understand. And from there, you can change it. So taking accountability is huge. Once you've done that, you want to then start moving into the affirming for the forgiveness and the healing of it. And that's how you shift into actually changing the entire situation and the behaviors. So you take accountability, you recognize that you've done it, you start affirming for healing, for being over it, moving on, and or focusing on the new version of the person. If it's like a current thing with behaviors that you don't like, affirming for the new version of them, the behaviors that you want to see as a result of the ones that you've discovered you don't like, and putting your attention on those. And then just implementing the mental diet to propel you into experiencing it. So there's some affirmations that I like to say, and they kind of include all of that. Well, this one affirmation specifically that I've been using lately and for clients of mine, and it's to state that, and you can be as specific as you want with this, like you can say their name and say the specific things that they did or thing that they did, or you can be really general with it. But what I've been saying is something like, I realize that they reflect or have been reflecting my deepest fears, insecurities, or assumptions of them. And as a result, I'm able to shed those or release those and move forward from them. And for that, I'm grateful. And this is really good because or something like that, because what it's doing is it's taking accountability, recognizing that you can change it, and being grateful to them for it. So now not only are you not pushing them away anymore, but you're pulling them closer because you're like, thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for showing me that thing inside me that wasn't so great and that I wanted to change. And that's really all this is. Like, if you can remember or recognize that every time you're faced with adversity or discomfort or something that's pushing your buttons, testing your boundaries, or making you feel uncomfortable, it's an opportunity for you to look within yourself and figure out where's this coming from? Is this my assumptions about this person specifically? Is it my insecurities? Is it assumptions about how I think I deserve to be treated? Like, what is causing this? And from there, again, it takes the pressure off of them as a separate person that's just doing something to you. And it's taking accountability and realizing that you can change it. And then also giving you the power to know exactly how to change it. Because when you've been really honest with yourself about what's causing this, then you know pretty much exactly what to start affirming for yourself in your mental diet. So I really like that affirmation stating that, you realize they're reflecting your stuff. And as a result, you're able to change it. And thank you for doing that for me or with me. Also, one that I really like is to this is like a quick one when I'm in the moment and I'm like going back on like a memory of something that I go, ooh, I can't believe that happened. I just, you know what? They've already apologized and I've already forgiven them. We're totally over it. They have already apologized and I've already forgiven them. And that more often than not actually makes room for an apology, because that has caused, in my life at least, several like actual manifestations of situations where people came back and were like, oh, I'm sorry for that thing I said, I didn't mean it that way, or sorry that I forgot about whatever, XYZ. Like, doesn't matter what the details are, but yeah. So stating that they've already apologized and that you've already forgiven them does two things. It helps you heal faster and get over it. And it usually perpetuates an actual apology if that's what you still want in the 3D. Also, one that I like is to state that, like, something like, I live in unconditional love and understanding. And that's to remind myself that, like, that's something that I want from people, is unconditional love and understanding. So I'm going to try to live in that space too and be more unconditional with those around me and more understanding of things that I feel they've put me through, because again, they haven't put me through anything, right? It's all us. And then another one is just something like, I'm so grateful for how far we've come. And that's really great for relationships specifically. Not only if it's a relationship you're trying to get back, or if it's a relationship that you're just trying to shift and change and like become more how you want it to become. Because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in the state of the person that is already experiencing the thing that you want. So that's going to help propel it into your reality faster. So all of these, obviously you want to use your own words. Like, if realize seems weird, say recognize or understand or see or know. Just play with it and make it yours. If it's silly for you to say, and as a result, I'm able to release them, then say something like, and because of that, I can let go of that crap or that garbage or that stuff, or, use words you use, make these yours. That's like, I love that we offer intentions and affirmations, but I think the biggest thing to remember is that you want to personalize them, because that's how you're going to get the least resistance. You have to have awareness of how you communicate with yourself. How do you think in your head? What are the types of words you use when you talk to yourself? What's the tone you use? What seems silly to you and what actually aligns with you? And just playing with that. You want to stick to the concept of the affirmations that we all suggest in these videos, but the best way you're going to get the fastest results is if you really personalize them and say it how you would say it. Use slang words that you use. If you curse, use curse words. If you, talk to yourself like you're an actress, talk to yourself like you're an actress. I tend to do that. I get very like dramatic in my head. I talk to myself like I'm my best friend and I'm convincing myself that you got this, like this is happening, da 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 da. So do it that way if that's what speaks to you. I guess that's it. I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys got something great out of this video. Thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and doing the bell thing if we have that. I think we do. I don't know. But anyway, thank you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I hope that you find that forgiveness and healing is super easy for you and that it lets you expand into a new level of experiencing something great in your lives. Thanks. Bye.